Right, like every spiritual text comes from spiritual. It gotta be some type of angel
with your host, Cosmon Cal.
But you talking about the Egyptian hieroglyphics or whatever? They had priests. They was in their little temples and then they hollering at their oracles. They were getting word direct from the spirit into the carnal. They speak right. When you read the Bible, Isaiah chapter 30, he say, write this in the book what I'm about to tell you. So any spiritual book you encounter, it wasn't FedEx to you from the throne of God. So that means it had to come from some type of spiritual meaning. Somebody that's tapped in, that was told, write this down. They wrote it down. Whether you talking about Bible, whether you talking about Quran, the Medu Netta, the East Indian philosophies, whatever you talking about. If it's a spiritual book, it came through some type of spiritual meaning. You know what I mean? Moses, 10 Commandments, according to the biblical narrative, written with the finger of God. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing in common every spiritual text has. Now, the only question be, once you understand that, is this from the Creator or not? And the only way you can know that, is if you gotta read it first and understand the character of who you call the Creator. Once you know that, say you read something that says that God that you're reading about is not all powerful. Then you got to question that because you know that your Creator is all powerful. It's really that simple, y'all. It ain't even hard. I mean, it's just we be stuck in our mind. We still like everything written down is right. It's not. Try the spirit by the spirit, no matter where you read it in. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Yeah, but the beautiful thing is it's not hard to discern. See, they got us thinking it is. It's not. Just keep your mind on the character of the Creator. If that inspiration come across my mind to go kill something, to bring some harm to somebody, damage something, I know where that's coming from. That's not my making. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So like I said, you even saying that the stories in the Bible that I have personally why would I create it to do this and destroy all of this?
Kids on stone. Yeah, you got. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's a natural question. You should question that. You know what I mean? And there shouldn't be no problem with you questioning. Oh, you going to hell for asking some questions.
Ain't that what they used to tell you?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jericho.
This is a different subject. Speaking about the spirit of retaliation.
Yeah.
So how y'all was saying, like when a man murders a person, and that spirit is waiting for them on the other side of giving them nightmares, retaliating. So that's like vengeance, getting revenge. So my question is, like, would it be better to forgive your murderer? Because like, wouldn't that like hold you back from your essential?
You got the opportunity to forgive or exact some type of justice. Like it's all on you. It ain't on God though.
So that's not against the Creator to want revenge.
Not justice for you being murdered and slaughtered. Your whole family got wiped out or whatever. Yeah. It may not be in your spirit to just to forgive somebody right off the bat. Like I'm cold, bro. I'm angry. You killed me, my family.
Like, you killed my boy, and I'm coming after you.
Yeah, but that's just such thing as spirit retaliation. You know, but it's about this. That's justice you enacting on yourself though. The Creator ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just because you decide to go kill that man, you're responsible for it. So he may be angry as all hell and say, "Boy, I met you in this life and the next when you get over it. You murdered me." Think about this. You see a lot of cats that get real disrespectful with disrespecting the dead. When the Chicago drill rapper, the FBG Duck, when he got aired out in Chicago, you had a King Von and all them laughing, joking. Man, a month later, maybe 2 later, King Von got smoked down in the line. And when I remember when it happened, I said, boy, that came back quick. They was just, I'm talking bad about this bro. They mowed him down in the streets on camera. You know what I mean?
So that won't hold back the spirit of retaliation from their elevation?
Yeah. They got to work together until they finally get along and then they gotta work together and do right to each other to rise up. However long it takes, it may take you 1,000 years to get along finally. That's on y'all. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just every situation you run into, he may not be as forgiving. Yeah, but it's true about this. By you murdering him, you just bound yourself to him. So if it takes 3,000 years for you to convince this man to be better with it and rise up and to forgive you for it, then so be it. You shouldn't have killed him. You know what I mean? However long it takes. You mess around and kill, or you mess around and kill somebody that is forgiven. And it's like, man, whatever, bro. I'm trying to keep it moving. I ain't trying to be bound to this earth or whatever. You know what I mean? But that don't mean you ain't finna have to holler at him. You know what I mean? So no, yes, it is better to forgive, absolutely. It is, but every spirit you run into ain't gonna be forgiven. Yeah, it's spirit retaliation on a major league level. You know what I mean? Hey, little jokers, y'all want some knuckle sandwiches? What? Man, I'm finna have to wrestle these little nephews of mine, man. Hey, man, we about to get up out of here. A little taste. I see everybody yawning a little bit. Boo-boo over there looking at us serious, like, hey, it's about time. Hey, y'all wanna get on out of here with the Creator's Prayer. And you know, as always, it's always an honor, man, chopping it up with the fam. We've been at it today for a little minute too. We, 4 hours earlier. We're a little bit over 2 hours right now. Then we was chopping up about a good hour before we even went live. So, it's been a long day of just dropping light, you know what I mean? And it feels good. I don't know about you, man, homie, man. It's good, baby. It feels good. Okay, come on with it, mom. It's all good. Hopefully I can answer the text. You dig? We gonna read this. Hey, y'all, it's real simple though. It ain't hard, man. It ain't hard. You dig? Just know the character of your maker. Listen for the message. You dig? And execute. If it's good, then stand with it. If it ain't, keep it moving. Let me read this to y'all right here. This is the Creator's Prayer as prayed by Yahshua in Owaspy. I want to share that with y'all. And we pray on out. Right here. Bang. And it's the same one. It got a couple extra words on it. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. All right, right here it say, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Now look at this. This is the story of Yahshua, who everybody called Jesus today, in Owaspy, right? Now trip out what he's saying. He say right here in verse 14, he say, remember that all things are of the Creator, and you are his servants to help one another. And as much as you do these services to one another, so do you serve the Creator. 16. Behold only the virtues and wisdom in your neighbor. His faults you shall not discover. So whatever somebody falling short at, you ain't supposed to be speaking about that. You supposed to be letting the sister know, sister, I see the good you're doing. Keep going. Brother, I see, you know what I mean, how you make strides toward getting yourself together. Keep going. Not, hey, brother, you fell short last night. You know what I mean? You don't need to remind anybody of their shortcomings. You know what I mean? Just if you want to raise them up, talk about the good they doing. That'll inspire them to get better. See what I'm saying? Look at this. It says, behold only the virtues and wisdom in your neighbor. His faults you shall not discover. His matters are with his Creator. Watch this. Do not call on the name of any God or Lord in worship, but worship Creator only. And when you pray, let it be in this manner. Jehovah, or Creator, who rules in heaven and earth, hallowed be your name, and reverent among men. Sufficient for me is my daily bread. And as much as I forgive those who trespass against me, so forgive me and make me steadfast to shun temptation. For all honor and glory are yours, worlds without end. Hallelujah, amen. Oh, wait. So then he go on to say, to visit the sick and distress, the helpless and blind, and to relieve them, to provide for the widow and orphan, and keep yourself unspotted before men. These are the way of redemption. Dang. That's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. So yeah. Y'all job is to get out here and ask the Creator for light. That way you may, help somebody the next day or whatever. Send me somebody I can help out. You know what I mean? And in doing that, you ain't doing nothing but getting your grade up, spiritual grade. You may hear people today say, increase your frequency, increase your vibration. All they saying is get your spirit grade up. And when you do something good for somebody, you feel better. You feel a lot better. You be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can get used to this. You see, but that's what the Creator wanted us to do with each other. Love serve Him by doing righteous work to one another. It's really that simple. If you want to know if the voice you're hearing is coming from the Creator or not, learn this character and listen for the message. It's that simple. You understand that? You can't go wrong. So if the temptation come through to say, I am the Lord your God, and I command you to offer up your grandbaby as a burnt offering. Run, buddy. Hell to the gnaw, your breath stank, and get the hell away from me. Kick rocks. Huh? Some people scared to talk with the spirit like that, but I'm not. I don't give a damn. You gotta go. You gotta go by. Nah, you can't even be over here with none of that. You dig? You won't get this light, but nah, I'm never doing that. You feel me? Because again, spirit ain't nothing but people without physical bodies. There's one time people who used to stink like you in the morning, and no, I'm not gonna, man. Anyway, you over here, you about to get this light. That's what's about to happen. You know what I mean? But no, I don't agree with nothing you're talking about. You got to get bow-legged in the shoulders with these spirits. You can't just be all passive and, ooh, it looked like it hurt. I don't want to say that. Ooh, I don't want to raise my voice above. I don't want to use my outside voice. Man, if you don't go raw on that dark force that's trying to get up in your crib and take over your family, I don't agree with you. You can't be up in her. You got to go. You got to go. Yeah, nah. You got to go. I don't agree with you. We're not coming into agreement with none of that. You got to get them out of here. You know what I mean? And you're going to get this light while you over here. That's just what it is. But I don't agree with nothing you're talking about. You got to get like that. Because if we went outside right now and a cane Corso was out there salivating, you dig, and was running up the street after Mama right here, Mama, you going to use your inside voice? No, stop. Get out of here. You're going to be like, ah! You're going to be beating your feet, jumping on top of cars. You're going to lose your dignity. That's right. You're going to lose your dignity yelling for help. You feel me? And it's the same in the spirit world. You can't be all like, look, we're not playing. We're not playing with none of these dark forces. No, you can't be over here. You dig? And that's the thing. We just got to really just know what it is, know who we are, know who our Creator is, and know how special we are. All of us hold a special spot with the one that made you. You know what I mean? And you got a direct connection. Direct connection. Did y'all hear? Let me quick question. Did y'all hear anything today that was blood curdling, violence, anything about child sacrificing or killing babies or anything evil? You may have heard something that challenged what you thought it was, but did you hear anything evil from these brothers in here today? No. The message is not evil. It ain't got nothing to do with being evil or nothing. It's all about love, light, happiness, and all that good stuff from your maker. You know what I mean? And whenever you're being tempted to get on something or a type of time that you know is wrong, that's not creative. You got every right to reject that. I don't agree with you. Who is you? What? No, bye. No, I'm not doing that. Huh? Didn't Jesus put the devil in his place when he came tempting him? Did he say, no, get out of here, Satan? Hiss. He ain't do all that. No, it's written right here. You get right here. Get behind me. That's how bold you got to be. You can't play it soft. You got to play the field house for real, man. And you'll start seeing motion and all that. And you got to know that the Creator's with you. Like, I know it. Can't nobody convince me otherwise. Absolute. I'm fully convinced. You can't convince me no other way. It's just what it is. You see what I'm saying? And that's all of us got to get there. But in our own proper time, you get there. You know what I mean? It ain't a rush. You ain't competing or none of that. Just know that you hold a very special spot with your maker. and you got a direct connection. Tap on in. All right. Other than that, any more questions? Boo, you got something you want to say? You cool? Miss Tiny, we good? Mama, what's going on? Mama? Okay, you catch me next week. What's up, little joker? You good? No. You been good though. All right, man. We don't want no parts of no trouble, right? Yeah. We gonna duck trouble. Hey, little joker. Hey. All right, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Nehemiah, you got any last words you want to say, brother? Talk to me.
Live to your highest light.
Ooh.
Be right.
Ooh. Live to your highest light and be right. All right, y'all. We about to get up out of here. You know what I mean? You know, Creative Game been cooking about 10 hours a day. You know, it's nothing but your regular. Nothing but your regular. We about to sit on back and enjoy the rest of this weekend. We'll tap back in with y'all in a couple days or two. And remember, all praise to the Creator, the God Maker, the maker of suns, moons, and stars, that always was, is, and ever shall be. The mighty and great Spirit, the mighty and great I Am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. Until then, I'm your little brother, Malaki Macabee. Till the next time, family. Right on out. Go away. Good to be good.
All was, all is, all ever shall be. The all spake, and motion was, and is. All was, all is, all ever shall be. The all spake, and motion was, and is, and ever shall be. And being positive was called he and him. The all motion was his speech. He said, I am, and he comprehended all things, the seen and the unseen. Nor is there aught in all the universe but what is part of him. He said, I am the soul of all, and the all that is seen is of my person and my body. By virtue of my presence, all things are. By virtue of my presence is life. By virtue of my presence are the living brought forth into life. I am the quickener, the mover, the creator, the destroyer. I am first and last. Of two apparent entities am I, nevertheless I am but one. These entities are the unseen, which is potent, and the seen, which is of itself impotent, and called corpore. With these two entities, in likeness thereby of myself, made I all the living. For as the life is the potent part, so is the corporeal part, the impotent part. Chief over all that live on the earth I made man. Male and female made I them. and that man might distinguish me, I commanded him to give me a name. By virtue of my presence commanded I him. And man named me not after anything in heaven or on the earth. In obedience to my will named he me after the sounds the wind uttereth. And he said, E-O-E, which is now pronounced Jehovah. Jehovah said, by virtue of my presence created I the seen and the unseen worlds, and I commanded man to name them. And man called the seen worlds Corpor, and the unseen worlds Es, and the inhabitants of Corpor man called Corporians. But the inhabitants of Es he called sometimes Esseans, and sometimes spirits, and sometimes angels. Jehovah said, I created the earth, and fashioned it, and placed it in the firmament, and by my presence brought man forth a living being. A corporeal body gave I him, that he might learn corporeal things, and death I made, that he might rise in the firmament, and inherit my ethereal worlds. Thus spake Jehovah by the light of Cosmon, proclaimed he these things amongst the nations of the earth. Man looked upward in prayer, desiring to know the manner of all created things, both on earth and in heaven. And Jehovah answered him, saying, the whirlwind made I as a sign to man of the manner of my created worlds. As thou beholdest the power of the whirlwind, gathering up the dust of the earth and driving it together, know that even so do I bring together the RG and GA and nebulae in the firmament of heaven. By the power of the whirlwind create I the corporeal suns and moons and stars. And I commanded man to name the whirlwinds in the Etherean firmament, and he called them vortices and walk. According to their shape called he them. By the power of rotation, swift driving forth in the extreme parts, condense I the atmosphere and worlds that float in the firmament, and these become my corporeal worlds. In the midst of the vortices made I them, and by the power of the vortices I turn them on their axes and carry them in the orbits I allotted to them. Wider than to the moons of a planet have I created the vortices, and they carry the moons also. Around about some of my corporeal worlds have I given nebulous belts and rings, that man might comprehend the rotation of my vortex and worlds. For each and every corporeal world created I a vortex first, and by its rotation and by the places in the firmament whither it travelleth, caused I the vortex to conceive the corporeal world. A great vortex created I for the sun, and within this vortex and subject to it made I the vortices of many of the corporeal worlds. The sun vortex I caused to rotate, and I gave it power to carry other vortices within it. According to their density and position are they thus carried forth and around about the sun. Think not, O man, that I created the sky a barren waste and void of use. Even as man in the corporeal form is adapted to the corporeal earth, so is he in the spiritual form adapted to my Etherean worlds. 3 great estates have I bestowed on man: the corporeal, the atmospherian, and the Etherean. Man perceived the general formation of the world, and he prayed that his eyes might be opened for a sign in heaven. And Jehovah answered him, saying, the clouds in the air I bring into view suddenly. By different currents of wind make I thus the unseen, visible and tangible to man's senses. In like manner do I cause Etherean currents to bring forth Agi and Ga and nebulae prior to making corporeal worlds. In all the universe have I made the unseen to rule over the seen. Let the formation of the clouds stand in the view of man on earth, that he may bear witness to the manner of the unseen becoming seen. Man perceived, and he prayed for a sign of duration. And Jehovah answered him, saying, behold the tree which hath sprung up out of the ground, and fulfilled its time. It falleth, and rotteth, and returneth to the earth. But lo, the wind, which thou seest not, never ceaseth to blow. Even so is the comparative duration of all things. Think not, O man, that corporeal things are annihilated because they disappear. For as a drop of water evaporateth and riseth in the air as unseen vapor, so do all corporeal things, even earth and stones and gold and silver and lead, become as nothing in the firmament of heaven in course of time. Things that man seeth, created I with a beginning and an end, but the unseen I made of endless duration. The corporeal man made I belonging to the seen, but the spiritual man made I as one within the unseen and everlasting. As the corporeal man beholdeth corporeal things, so doth the spiritual man follow upward the evaporated corporeal entities of things. As corporeal things are tangible to corporeans, so are as things tangible to the spirits of the dead. As I cause water to rise upward as vapor, and take a place in the air above, let it be a sign and testimony of other places in atmosphere, whereon dwell the spirits of the lower heaven. As I made a limit to the ascent of the clouds, so made I a limit to the places of the different kinds of substances in atmosphere, the more subtle and potent to the extreme, and the more dense and impotent nearer to the earth. According to the condition of these different plateaux in atmosphere, whether they be near the earth or high above, so shall the spirit of man take its place in the first heaven. According to his diet and desires and behavior, so shall he dwell in spirit on the plateau to which he hath adapted himself during his earth life. For I made the power of attraction manifest in all things before man's eyes, that he might not err, that like should attract like, made I them. Man sought to know the progress of things. Jehovah answered him, saying, Open thy eyes, O man. There is a time of childhood, a time of genesis, a time of old age, and a time of death to all men. Even so is it with all the corporeal worlds I have created. First as vapor, the vortex carrieth it forth, and as it condenseth, its friction engendereth heat, and it is molten, becoming as a globe of fire.
I'm just diving off into this AI versions of Waspy, man. Shout out to Divine Cosmic Blueprint, man. If y'all ain't been over there, go over there and check out they stuff, they work. You dig what I'm saying? Malaki Macabee popped on. I didn't know he was going live, so I just shared the live. But since y'all here, I figured, well, you might as well just go ahead and show you something a lot of y'all ain't seen. You dig what I'm talking about? And that's these AI versions of Waspy. It's pretty dope. So just showing this off real quick. I'll show a couple more real quick. They're pretty short. I'll show a couple more, but then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. Been a long day. Peace to the righteous gods and nirvana goddesses. Create a gang, or don't bang. You dig what I'm saying? As always, peace to all the gods and goddesses in training. You dig what I'm talking about? It's your big bro, Cosmon, Cloud Kicker, Nakbakaiki, just checking in. But let's keep going, y'all. Shout out to Divine Cosmic Blueprint. Peace.
In heaven, then it taketh its place as a newborn world, and I set it in the orbit prepared for it. In the next age, I bring it into Semu, for it is ripe for the bringing forth of living creatures, and I bestow the vegetable and animal kingdoms. Next, it entereth Hotu, for it is past the age of begetting, even as the living who are in dotage. Next it entereth Adu, and nothing can generate upon it. Then cometh Uz, and it is spirited away into unseen realms. Thus create I, and thus dissipate planets, suns, moons, and stars. My examples are before all men. My witnesses are without number. I rise the tree up out of the ground. I give it a time to bring forth fruit, and then barrenness, and then death and dissolution. I prepare the new field with rich soil, bringing forth, and the old field that is exhausted, and man shall weigh the progress and destiny of a whole world. Let no man marvel because of the size of the mammoth and the ichthyosaurus, for there was a time for them, as there is a time for the infusoria of this day. I have given thee a sign, O man, in the queen of the honey bee. Because of the change of the cell cometh she forth a queen, even from the same manner of germ as the other bees. Be wise, therefore, and remember that the earth is not in the place of the firmament as of old. Let this be a testimony to thee of the growth, the change, and the travail of the earth. Nevertheless, O man, the seen and the unseen are but parts of my person. I am the unity of the whole.
In the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, and the Lord made man upright. And man was naked and not ashamed. Neither knew man the sin of incest, but he dwelt as the beasts of the field. And the Lord brought the angels of heaven to man. By his side took they on forms like unto man, having all the organs and attributes of mortals. For it was the time of the earth for such things to be. And it came to pass that a new race was born on the earth, and these were called Ihins, because they were begotten of both heaven and earth. Hence it became a saying, the earth conceived of the Lord. And the name of the first race was Asu, Adam, because they were of the earth only. And the name of the second race was Ihin, Abel, because they were capable of being taught spiritual things. And the Lord said, of all that live on the face of the earth, or in the waters thereof, or in the air above, that breathes the breath of life, man only have I delivered unto knowledge of his Creator. And the Lord spake unto the Ihin, through his angels spake he to them, saying, Go hide thy nakedness, for it is the commandment of God. And the Ihins were afraid, and they clothed themselves, and were no longer naked before the Lord. And the Lord commanded the angels to give up their forms, and to be no more seen as mortals. And it was done. And the Lord said unto them, Because ye brought forth life, which is in flesh and blood, ye shall minister unto man for 6 generations on the face of the earth. And it was so. And that man may continue to walk upright, ye shall teach him the law of incest, for man of himself cannot attain to know this. Neither shall ye permit the Ihins to dwell with Asu, Adam, lest his seed go down in darkness. And man was thus inspired of the Lord, and he walked upright and prospered on the earth. But after a season man became conceited in his own judgment, and he disobeyed the commandments of God. And he strayed out of the garden of paradise, and began to dwell with the Asuans, Adams, and there was born into the world a new race called Druk, Cain, and they had not the light of the Father in them, neither could they be inspired with shame, nor of heavenly things. And the Ihins were grateful to the Lord, and they gave sacrifice in burnt offerings. And they said unto the Druks, Go ye and sacrifice unto the Lord, and he will prosper you. But the Druks understood not, and they fell upon the Lord's chosen, and slew them, right and left, taking their possessions. And the Lord said unto the Druks, Because ye have slain your brethren, ye shall depart out of the place of God. And that ye may be known to the ends of the earth, I put my mark upon you. And the mark of the Lord put upon the Druks was the shadow of blood, which being interpreted is war. And the Lord God said, By this sign shall the tribes of Druk and their descendants be known unto the end of the world. And woman, being more helpless than man, cried out with fear, saying, O Lord, how shall I bring forth unto thee, and not unto the sons of death? And the Lord said, Because thou hast brought forth in pain, and yet called on my name, behold, I will be unto thee as a shield and protector. For I will also put a mark upon the eyehins, my chosen, so thou shalt know them when they come unto thee. And the Lord commanded the male eyehins, old and young, to be circumcised, that woman might not be deceived by the drugs. And the eyehins circumcised one another, old and young. For it was the testimony of the Lord unto woman, that seed of their seed was born to everlasting life. And the drugs, Cain, went away into the wilderness, and dwelt with the Asuans and with one another. God said, A boundary line will I make betwixt the tribes of drugs and the eyehins. And this is the line that I, the Lord God, make betwixt them. The eyehins shall labor and clothe themselves, and I will abide with them. But the drugs shall wander in the wilderness, neither laboring nor clothing themselves. And it was so.
Now to a News Nation exclusive investigation.
In the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, and the Lord made man upright. And man was naked and not ashamed. Neither knew man the sin of incest, but he dwelt as the beasts of the field. And the Lord brought the angels of heaven to man.
In Waspe, the terms God and Goddess refer not to creators of the universe, nor to all-powerful beings, but to radiant souls who have risen through lifetimes of service into sacred roles of leadership in Jehovah's unfolding plan. God and Goddess in Oaspa are titles of spiritual office, not fixed genders. Any soul, regardless of its past expression, may rise to these roles. These titles are based not on form, but on light, responsibility, and polarity of spiritual current. Many of these high-ranking beings have evolved into androgyny, balancing masculine and feminine within, expressing pure service without limitation. Both God and Goddess govern the atmosphere in heavens during specific cycles. They guide newly risen souls called Essians, coordinate resurrection, oversee education, manage the passage between realms, and lead spiritual harmony within their appointed dominions. Their duties are the same, and their authority is equal. Though equal in rank, the expressions of their light may differ. The God often holds the directive current, structuring, organizing, issuing decrees in alignment with Jehovah's will. The Goddess may embody the harmonizing current, healing, weaving, and balancing the energies of vast soul groups. This is not a division of power, but a complement of polarities. Each completes the other in divine service. In higher realms, many leaders are androgynous or gender fluid in light. Form is less relevant than the function. A goddess may have once lived as a man. A god may radiate maternal love. What matters is not the outer form, but the inner harmony and light attained through loving service. Unlike earth traditions that exalt male gods above female goddesses, Waspe restores the truth. No one rises above another based on gender. All rise through love, wisdom, and the sacred willingness to serve. And in the higher heavens, only those who shine Jehovah's light with purity and humility may wear the mantle of god or goddess. To become a god or goddess in Jehovah's kingdom is to surrender identity for duty, and to carry not just a crown, but a torch of love for countless souls. The path is open to all, not by name, not by gender, but by light.
Man perceived the magnitude and glory of the corporeal worlds. He said, "How shall I speak of thy great works, O Jehovah, and of thy wisdom and power? Shall I open my mouth before thee? I look upon thy countless stars, suns and moons, spread out over the heavens. The millions of years thou hast rolled them on in the never-ending firmament. Processions in and out and round about of mighty worlds, by thy breath, going forth. O thou, all highest, how shall I hide my insignificance? I cannot create the smallest thing alive, nay, nor change the color of a hair on my head. What am I that thou hast seen me? Tell me, O my Creator, whence came life, this unseen within me that is conscious of being? Tell me how all the living came into life." Jehovah heard the words of man, and he answered him, saying, "Let a sign be given to man, that he may comprehend Semu." Thereupon Jehovah caused the jellyfish and the green scum of water to be
Now that's a question right there, because I don't know where they got that from. My sister say, wait a minute, a man can be a woman in the atmosphere, but I thought only women can carry souls to Etheria. Then why give designation like God or goddess depending on gender? I'm gonna tell you why. Because the person who generated that video made that up. She said something about the whoever the person is, said something about one of that Atlas 31. You dig what I'm talking about? Videos. You dig what I'm talking about? And said something about prophecy in the video about Atlas 31. And so I asked, where did you get that from? You dig what I'm talking about? What prophecy did you get that from? You know what I mean? Not to be a jerk about it or nothing, but nigga, that ain't in no waspy. You dig what I'm saying? Hold on, let me go back and show y'all this real quick. So I had to question that too. I had a real question about that too, right? Because whoever was talking in the video was making some real definitive claims. You know what I mean? Like what they were saying was definitely backed up in the WASP, but it ain't. And then I don't know who it was, but I spoke to somebody, and I feel like it was a sister. Basically, she was telling me, you know, you could just make it up. Oh, here it go. Now watch this. It's the #1 view thing on the channel.
Welcome, dear soul. Today I want to share a message about something many of you have asked. What is 3?
See, talking about the 3-1 Atlas stuff. Right, look. First person on there, who? Y'all see that? Right there? Hold on, let me see if I can blow it up. Who the first person to ask a question? Who the first person to ask a question? I say right here. Right here. I asked, where you get that where did you pull this understanding from? Right? So let's look at what came out, right? Before we dip back into the message.
The I Atlas. Where did it come from? Who guides it? And what is its purpose for humanity? Let's explore together. 3. I Atlas was not the invention of a single person. It was born as a collaborative transmission from the higher records, where councils of advanced intelligences and guiding beings weave knowledge into human consciousness. Its very name reflects this. 3I represents triads of intelligence working together, while Atlas carries the archetype of the one who maps, organizes, and holds the pathways of the world. It arose in this time because humanity stands at a threshold. We are ready for a framework that unites spirit, science, and remembrance.
Right there. You dig what I'm talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So that ain't nowhere in no WASP. This whole understanding, you dig what I'm talking about, is, you know, no offense or nothing, but it's your understanding on it. And I ain't tripping on that. You dig what I'm talking about? But let's get it understood that you made this up, though. You did make it up.
Behind Atlas are streams of guiding energies, Etherian councils, and angelic engineers, beings who specialize in translating vast cosmic knowledge into practical forms we can understand. The Akashic streams, the living...
What I tell you about Akashic? That was it. That was the key. That was the key to me right there. That was the key right there. As soon as they said Akashic, that told me everything I needed to know. You dig what I'm talking about? That they ain't been really paying attention. Right? And more importantly, they ain't been there. So
rivers of memory that flow across time and space. And human collaborators, those souls attuned to higher resonance, serving as receivers and anchors. It is not the work of one group or one mind, but a woven symphony of celestial, angelic, and human cooperation. The purpose of Atlas is simple yet profound. It is here to serve as a map for the awakening soul, showing where we are in the grand journey of evolution.
Cap. First of all, Owaspy don't even back evolution. Period. Right? So you dig what I'm talking about, and where and how a comet could map where we are in the universe when it isn't even a consistent world yet and doesn't even have its own private orbit yet. How could that be as a a true harbinger of some type of lighter information, you could assume it is and use it as a symbol of something you making up, but ain't nowhere in OWASP what you talking about being said. So, there's no hard feelings, but we just, when we see wrong, we just gonna correct it. And it's not necessarily like what she's saying is anything bad. It's just not right. Right? So, it's okay to be right and righteous sometimes. But you can't throw away righteousness to just try to be right. Right? So, my thing is, if this telling of the story does lead somebody to a higher understanding, revelation, and looking into this thing, and plus it is the #1 video. This is why I can't bash it. If it makes them think. So you dig what I'm talking about? Same thing Irons did to the drugs. Some people got it. You can't knock it if that's the case. But you can tell the truth about it either way. And the truth is, ain't none of this in OWASP. I ain't gonna lie, just back it up for a minute. None of this. Right? It's got an odd little play of truth and falsehood going on at the same time. Or it's like, it's not that. I wouldn't say that it was purposely trying to tell it to be false. So I take it as they're dumbing it down so the people who are coming into this can kind of understand it. But when you telling it that way, you're not telling it correctly. So if you're going to dumb it down with what's actually being said. Not just your version or made up interpretation. Right? So I asked, you dig what I'm talking about? I asked right off the top, where you get this understanding from, right? And let's see, you know what? Let's just go a little more.
Streams, the living rivers of memory that flow across time and space. And human collaborators, those souls attuned to higher resonance, serving as receivers and anchors. It is not the work of one group or one mind, but a woven symphony of celestial, angelic, and human cooperation. The purpose of Atlas is simple yet profound. It is here to serve as a map for the awakening soul, showing where we are in the grand journey of evolution. A bridge that integrates spiritual wisdom with practical life, so awakening becomes embodied, not abstract. A compass through transition, guiding humanity from...
Now see how they weave the true with the false? You dig what I'm talking about? Because the second part is on point. But you know what I mean?
Fragmentation toward unity consciousness. And above all, it does not replace your inner guidance. Instead, it exists to empower, to awaken discernment, and to help each soul remember their direct connection to Source. So is 3i Atlas something to fear? Not at all. It is not about control. It is about empowerment. It is not about taking away free will. It is about helping each soul discover their own place in the cosmos.
It's not about none of this. It's a comment. Huh? As a matter of fact, it's a group of comments. What you're going to be able to see is a world in its pre-formed stages. Yeah. Where are you getting all this from as a herald and you dig what I'm talking about, or this, you know what I mean? That's crazy. So, hold on.
Cosmic design. Think of it as a map. You are still the traveler. You are still free to choose your path. The map simply reminds you of the roads that are open and the light that is ahead. May this understanding bring you peace, clarity, and courage for the journey ahead. If this message resonates with you, feel free to share your reflections in the comments. Together, we walk this path of remembrance.
All right. I don't want to discourage your faith or none of that, but you dig what I'm saying. I simply asked the question. I said, where did you pull this understanding from? Right? Where did you pull this understanding from? Because I ain't never seen this, guys. I ain't never seen this. Look what they say. Right? And this is why I think it was a female. Right? I said, where did you pull this understanding from? They said, this information, right? This information was channeled, right? This information was channeled from one of the Earth's positive timelines, beloved. Right then, I knew she was capped. Right then, I knew she was capped. Ain't no multiple timelines. It's only one time. You're just in the past, present, or future of it. Time ain't changing, slowing down, speeding up, doing none of that. Right? Channel from a timeline that ain't happened, which means a possibility, right? Which means it ain't one, it ain't prophecy. See, you got to remember, ain't no guesswork in prophecy. We're not guessing. Right? So right then I knew it was cap. You know what I mean? Multiple timelines, extra dimension ass niggas and all that. Nah. That's not how I go. Right? Then you already, you blew the dog whistle for me once you said Akashic record. That blew the whistle for me right there. That was like a dog whistle. Said this information was channeled from one of Earth's positive timelines. What? It's only one timeline, and good and bad happen in it. Light and dark happen in it. So the same line is positive and negative. You have to have both. Right? You got to have positive and negative. They are necessaries. He said, look, right here, they said, we have the freedom of choice to choose positive timelines. No, you don't. Huh? You can choose a positive thought in your mind or, hope for a positive. But you ain't channel this from nowhere. We had a freedom of choice to choose positive timelines by vibrating on that particular frequency. El Capitan is kind of just mixed up. Huh? That's not how channeling works, nor is it how prophecy works. By vibrating on that particular frequency, and those who resonate to this video are heading towards this positive timeline along with me. So, you know what I see it. Well, you dig what I'm talking about? They on the Positive timeline with you. Sound like it's weird, right? It's weird. I don't think she know how time works. Right? So I said, okay. Said, okay. So that's your personal opinion about what's happening, not what 31 Atlas actually is. I disagree with your take on it, but it's fair to have your own opinion, right? I ain't shoot him down, totally, but it was El Capitan. She said, of course, only time will tell. How if it was channel? You ought to know this for sure. What I'm telling you is it ain't no signal for no shit of light and all that and a new era and no, man. That's not what happened, nor what's going on. She said, of course, only time will tell who is accurate. Maybe we both are. Somebody lying, right? One of us can explain how time works and why that what you're saying can't be, right? One of us can prove ain't no multiple timelines. One of us can't. Like I said, it's more of a guess. All the positive timelines are similar to this one. Like I said, there are many timelines. You're wrong. Just wrong. And you are most likely not on our timeline if the message does not resonate with you. Yeah, we ain't on the same timing. Yeah, we ain't on the same timing. No, not at all. Right? If you think there's another time, you already lost. You dig what I'm saying? So that kind of mean you don't know how time works. But yeah, good catch on that, intuitive goat. I caught it when I was listening to it, but I was getting back to the computer. But that's the second time that stuff didn't happen. They just made up some stuff that ain't in Owaspy. Now, when they just printing what's in Owaspy and letting the AI just, make some pictures and stuff, that's cool. But when you get the twisting up stuff, trying to, just play on the hot topic of that time, you know what I mean, to try to play on some feel good, groovy, guru ass type shit, man, that's when I gotta call you out. You faking, right? Because you just making it up, right? And you ain't channel this. You dig what I'm talking about? Because if you channel it, you wouldn't think that you could even possibly be wrong. Right? This ain't no guesswork. You guessing. I'm telling you, you wrong. And I can show you why. And just for the simple fact, none of what you talking about is in Owaspy. About 31 Atlas. Right? As a matter of fact, Owaspy tell us that sign symbol, man is not geared or built to tell truth by signs, symbols, and miracles. Because he can be easily led astray, just like you are. Yeah, we ain't on the timeline, same timeline, nah. But I ain't no hater neither, right? And I'd rather get this out, you dig what I'm talking about, than sit back here and argue with you about your message when you just making it up anyway, right? So no, ain't nobody safe. You bring any cap around the game, you liable to get exposed. You dig what I'm talking about? So at the same time I'm showing your stuff, yeah, some El Capitan in there, y'all. Just watch out. You dig what I'm talking about? Don't just take nobody word for it. Unless you just hear the O being quoted. You know what I mean? Take everything else with a grain of salt. That's all I say. I ain't hating. I'm just being real. You dig what I'm saying? But it's all good. We don't all glow up at the same time. You dig what I'm talking about? Especially since you let me know we ain't on the same timing. Right? So yeah. You'll catch up though. You light years ahead of most people. You dig what I'm talking about? You'll be all right in the end of the day when you just stop making up stuff. You dig what I'm talking about? Just go with what's there. That's amazing enough. You don't gotta do nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? You ain't gotta add nothing to it. It's already amazing. It's hard to believe as it is without adding nothing to it. You know what I mean? It's amazing. It's amazing work, man. Sometimes we just need to let it speak for itself. You know? I think I'm gonna play that 10 ways to prove you're not an Israelite one more time. You dig what I'm saying? Go ahead and show that again. People been asking about that. You dig what I'm saying? Asking me to play that. But you dig what I'm saying? I hate it had to even get there, but you dig what I'm talking about? It got brought up. You dig what I'm saying? It got brought up. It ain't no you ain't gotta add nothing to it. You dig what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing to it. You know. It's dope all by itself. But with that, I'm gonna go and get up out of here, man. Leave it short and sweet. You dig what I'm saying? Short and sweet. It's none other than your big brother, huh? Your naga, your nerve, fresh up off of that curve, jelly jam and preserve. Hey, a Nakwakaiki, the cloud kicker. And all I need you to do is breathe in, let that light in. Cause I'm Cosmine, and I'm out. Peace, y'all.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
Jehovah is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul.
Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation. The fool will say, the sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens, to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmos. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love, lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.